That is
Del Rio Vineyards.
That was exciting. So we got the product up here. It's Del Rio Vineyards, and as you can see, the bottles are up here on the podium and ready to be spoken about. And to do that, representing Del Rio Vineyards, National Sales and Marketing Manager, Deborah Morris. Deborah.
welcome.
Rozay. Thank you. Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Deborah Morris. I'm Del Rio's brand storyteller and distributor wrangler. And I'm here today to introduce our new line extension, our Rouge Jolie. Rouge Jolie is a companion wine to our Rose Jolie, which you're getting samples of here. I'm already off track. Okay, but before I launch into the specifics about this new line extension, I'd like to give you a little backstory about Del Rio Vineyards. Del Rio was born in 1997 when our partner, Lee Trainham, traveled to Gold Hill, Oregon and purchased a 700-acre tract of land. The land at the time had a colorful history as it was the original stage stop for the Rogue Valley and was planted as a pear orchard. Lee's intention was to plant wine grapes, and for that he tapped his good friend Rob Wallace to help join him in the new venture. Rob was busy growing tomatoes, rice, and other commodity crops down in Arbuckle, California. And after a brief road trip with Lee up to Gold Hill, Rob pulled up roots and family and relocated to Gold Hill. 16 happy years later, Del Rio is 25,000 cases strong. We're growing at an annual rate of about 20%. Oh. Okay, there we go. I've already said that. We like to think of Del Rio a little bit like a singer-songwriter. Not only do we produce grapes for our own brands, but we are a source for premium grapes from a lot of other major Oregon wine brands. Del Rio is unique in that it has a cross-culture of all-American farming know-how, 4 generations, paired or cross-pollinated with 4 generations of French, old world French winemaking. Together, we are focused on a single goal, creating wines of integrity and nuance. We're bordered, our vineyard is bordered by the Rogue River and 3 mountain ranges. It spans over 300 acres, planted to more than a dozen varietals. And because we're located in Southern Oregon, our warm but temperate climate allows us to ripen to perfection grape varieties that a lot of our northern neighbors are not able to grow. So in addition to Pinot Noir and Pinot Gris, which Oregon is known for, we can produce a lot of the varietals that are grown in the Rhone, the Burgundy, and Bordeaux regions in France. So we have quite a lot of diversity. The 2 products that we're showing today, Rose Jolie and Rouge Jolie, are a more casual part of our line. These wines are priced at $14.99 retail. We like to think of them as being very user-friendly and geared to a wide array of consumers. We also like to think of them as social elixirs. Of the 2, the Rose Jolie is very unique in that it is a co-fermented confection of Muscat, Riesling, and Cabernet Franc. And it's a little bit sparkling from its natural carbonation that's created during fermentation. And it's also an off-dry style. It's our #1 selling SKU, and it's also ranked as one of the top selling rosés in Oregon by Nielsen. Okay, Rouge Jolie is our newest product, and it was launched in April of 2015. It is a companion wine to the rosé. It was designed as a companion so the 2 could be sold in the chains together. It is a blend of Cabernet, Merlot, and Syrah. And it is designed to compete in that hot red blend category, which has been growing very, very rapidly. And we think it has a bit more of a pedigree due to our estate profile. Sorry. Okay, brand attributes for these 2 packages include packaging that was designed to appeal to both boomers and millennials. We have attractive price points, silkscreen packaging, I already said that, authentic story with real people in a real place. go-to-market strategy is comprised of social media. We're leveraging all the various components of social media. We're targeting both millennials and boomers with focused consumer events. We've been doing a lot of in-store consumer tastings, and we're planning to do a lot more for our key retailers to help introduce the Rouge au Lit to the public. We have created attention-grabbing POS. Something that we're doing now that we're just kind of getting launched is we've done video wine tastings with our winemakers that are going to be linked back to the website with QR codes. We're doing a lot of programming for these wines that's seasonal with out-of-section displays and MIRs to help move the products. We're doing press outreach for both digital and print media, and we're planning focused advertising in print and lifestyle media.
What did you say the grapes were again? It was Muscat.
Oh, the
Muscat, Cabernet, and
this is
Riesling.
Muscat, Riesling, and Cabernet Franc, and those are co-fermented. So it's all blended together, and then it's fermented. So it's very unique.
Yeah, this is nice. I like this. Did you try this?
Okay.
Well, Deborah, I can tell from this that, then Deborah Morris, great pitch. And I want to go to Steve Slater and ask for initially, what's your initial impression of the pitch?
Well, it looks to me like it's a regional wine, okay? Like Oliver in Indiana. It sells 300,000 cases in Indiana, but you go over the state line and it won't. So I think what you're trying to do is to break into the mainstream.
Yes.
This is certainly not mainstream packaging. It's not mainstream flavor profile. The Rozay world right now is growing. We heard it in the trends panel, the panel before us. It's monster, but it's this salmon-colored, dry-styled Rozay. Now, I'm not prescribing that everything tastes and looked the same, and so I think you do have something different, but at a $14.99 retail, I don't think that package warrants a $14.99 retail. My next question to you would be, is this your top of the line, or is this your fun category that you have? Because Oregon is producing some amazing world-class wines right now. You've got 700 acres in Willamette or Rogue Valley, wherever it is.
Rogue Valley.
Rogue Valley. There should be some real serious wines coming off of that property, and maybe that would give a halo effect that would allow you to break into the mainstream with something more fun like this. But I still think a $14.99 price point is going to be challenging with that package and this flavor profile, because it's playing into a more fun category that is below $10.
We do have more serious wines. We do also make a second rosé, which is a dry style rosé, which is a Grenache Syrah blend, bone dry, very much in that French Provence style. So this is a fun package. The Rouge au Lit does about 6,000 cases, and that's not just all in Oregon. It is, we're in 8 markets with Rouge au Lit. And it sells well. It is our #1 selling SKU. We're doing about 6,000 cases a year of just the rose.
The bulk of it's in Oregon, though, right?
The bulk of everything we do is in Oregon.
Yeah.
About 80% of what we're doing is in Oregon. And so what's happening with Del Rio right now is we're making a big push to get the word out, about Del Rio across the country.
I think what also Steve is saying is you want something at that price point to over-deliver. The wine needs to over-deliver for the price. So at $14.99, you're putting yourself in a competitive set that is it's competitive. So you want to make sure that you can over-deliver on the quality and the taste.
Yes.
I liked it though. Sorry, I did. I really liked it. And although I normally lean towards the Provence and the Grenache rosés, and we sell a lot of that in our restaurants, but I do think this could work. I like it. So, cheers to you.
Thank you.
Charlie.
The little bit of a disconnect, because there is definitely a market for this wine. There will be consumers, as you said, who will love this wine. What was the disconnect for me was the story. Because as I was hearing the story, generational farmers, French winemaking, extraordinary product, and then we tasted this wine that it does not represent that. Not that it's bad, it's a wonderful product for what it is, but it doesn't connect with the story. And the marketing of your wine, and I don't know your other wines, but it felt like Steve was talking about what you're doing here, and this is such a total disconnect. Doesn't mean it can't work, but just hearing it, seeing it for the first time, it was a disconnect for me.
It kind of feels like you're very far away from Willamette.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that's fine. right? But I think the perception of the wine drinking world when you hear Oregon is you think about Willamette
Pinot Noir.
and you think about those great Pinot Noirs.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is from a marketing standpoint, scream how different you are from Willamette, right?
Yes.
Try to carve out your own space. Talk about the Rogue Valley. Talk about it's Southern Oregon. Talk about the virtues there more. Let that come to life. That way the consumer can understand this is not Willamette. This is not traditional Oregon. And then
Put more of a fun spin on it, like it's more of a light-hearted, kind of playful product rather than such a, they have the authenticity of the Pinot Noirs of Oregon. I see what you mean.
Exactly, because the packaging actually looks like it wants to be really serious, Willamette, Oregon, right? But it's the flavor profile and everything we heard from you is that it's completely different. So I just think a good touch of marketing, focusing on that point of differentiation, could really help.
Okay.
Sid?
Thank you.
You know, I have to concur with Steve on this thing. The thing that I liked about it was that it's from Oregon and it was not a Pinot Noir. I'm not a big Pinot Noir fan, and my family knows that, and everybody else does. But to that extent, I also concur in the fact that it's more of a fun wine. But you know, there's that conflict that you're going through where you're coming from Oregon. It's a great tasting wine, and to Lisa's point, you know, it really is. It almost appears that it could be a mixable wine. But your packaging really screams retail, which is really, and it goes back to even what the root beer guy before us, 80% of the consumers are going to be buying retail, 20% go to the restaurant. So that is actually a pretty decent package for retail, but I do question whether it's a little bit up here on the pricing side.
Yeah, that's the other point.
Well,
the price point is high.
Truthfully, price point wise, it's out there at $12.99 most of the time. $14.99 is like full bore retail, and it just really depends upon the market. And coming here today, I didn't want to start and say $12.99 because there's going to be markets where it's $14.99 just based on freight and tax and other regional differences. So I think at $12.99 is probably more appropriately priced for what it is.
Any more comments?
Well, I just, one of the things that drew me to come to work for Del Rio is the family, and we are different. As you said, we have this great heritage and unique property. Southern Oregon is very different in that we can grow a lot of things that our northern neighbors can't. I unfortunately rushed through my presentation. There's a whole lot of things I would have liked to have said that I didn't get a chance to, but I thank you for your time today, and I do believe that Del Rio is the real deal and has a great future. So thank you.
Terrific.
Thank you.